In a quiet town lived a woman named Alana, whose heart was both a sanctuary and a prison. Alana was an introvert through and through, a quiet soul who thrived on moments of solitude. She yearned to be one of those people who seemed to effortlessly plan grand birthday celebrations, go on spontaneous road trips, or hang out at the movies with friends. She dreamed of making memories that filled photo albums, not just in her mind, but in the real world where laughter echoed and smiles were tangible. Yet each day, as the clock wound down and the world outside beckoned with its invitations, Alana felt the familiar pull to retreat. She would slip away, taking refuge in her cozy apartment, where her thoughts could stretch and breathe without the constraints of social expectations. It was a paradox. How could someone with such a desire for connection feel so utterly drained by the mere thought of it? People often misunderstood her. They saw her as distant, aloof, even selfish. They wondered why she never seemed to want to join in on the fun, why she would always decline invitations with a polite smile and an apologetic shake of her head. "She's a loner," they whispered, as though it was a flaw she should be ashamed of. But Alana was not a loner by choice. She simply did not have the energy to match the social stamina that others seemed to possess so naturally. What they didn't know was that Alana was full of ideas. Her mind was a wellspring of creativity, constantly buzzing with plans for gatherings that would make an event planner envious. She could envision surprise parties that would make hearts burst with joy, adventures that would carve stories into the hearts of friends, and game nights that would stretch until dawn. But whenever the time came to turn those ideas into reality, Alana found herself alone, carrying the weight of execution on her own shoulders. It wasn't that she didn't want help. It was just that she didn't know how to ask without feeling like a burden. Her fear of being misunderstood, of being seen as needy or demanding, always got in the way. So she would start with enthusiasm, planning down to the last detail, and then inevitably the burden would grow too heavy. The exhaustion would set in, and like a shadow at dusk, Alana would retreat back into the sanctuary of her own space. It was safer there, where she didn't have to pretend to be someone she wasn't. In her solitude, Alana wondered if she would ever be the kind of person who could show up without feeling like she was borrowing time and energy from a version of herself that didn't exist. She longed to be the person who could laugh until her cheeks ached, who could lose track of time in the presence of friends, who could simply be present without feeling the weight of her own thoughts pressing down like a heavy fog. But the life of an introvert is a delicate dance between yearning for connection and needing to withdraw. It's a paradox that not everyone understands. Alana was not a loner. She was simply navigating a world that often felt too loud, too fast, and too demanding. Her quietness was not an absence of desire, but a form of self-preservation. And though her heart was full of love and her mind full of dreams, she continued to find comfort in the quiet corners where her true self could rest without judgment. Maybe one day Alana would find a way to bridge the gap between her inner world and the one outside. Until then, she would hold on to her dreams, trusting that the right people would see her not as selfish or distant, but as a woman who loved deeply, even when she expressed it from afar. And maybe, just maybe, that would be enough. A heart of sanctuary, also a heart that is like a prison. Until next time, thanks for listening. Stay strong. Remember to share love with each and every one.